You have everything. The job everyone wants, high salary, beautiful house, bank account solid enough to sleep well. Family is fine. On paper, you're winning. So why do you wake up every morning feeling hollow? Why do you look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back? Why do you have everything but feel like you have nothing? This isn't depression, not burnout, not work stress. This is something deeper. This is existential exhaustion. When your soul is starving but you keep stuffing success into it, and it's still empty, forever empty. In the next 25 minutes, I won't tell you to find your passion. I won't tell you to take a vacation and travel. I'm going to show you why success is never enough, why you're running a race with no finish line, and most importantly, how to stop before you lose everything that truly matters. This is the mirror reflecting your life back to you. If you've ever thought, I have everything, and still feel this way, stay here, because you're not broken. You're just believing a lie the whole world sold you. And today, we're going to shatter it. In 2014, a psychologist at Yale University named Laurie Santos conducted a large study. She tracked thousands of people who had just achieved major life goals: promotion, dream house, doubled salary, married the person they loved. The result? Their brains exploded with dopamine. They were happy for 48 hours. Then their brains adjusted. Baseline happiness returned to normal, and they needed a new goal, a new success, a new dose of dopamine. Science calls this hedonic adaptation. You call it, why am I still not happy? But here's what they don't tell you. This isn't your fault. You were programmed wrong from the start. Since you were 5, they said, study hard, you'll be happy. 15, get into a good school, you'll be happy. 25, get a good job, you'll be happy. 35, own a house, a car, you'll be happy. And you believed. You ran. 10 years, 20 years, until now. You have everything, but you're still empty. Remember the last time you thought, when I get X, I'll be happy. Maybe it was a degree, maybe a house, maybe a title, maybe a relationship. Do you have it? Yes. Are you happy? No. So what does your brain say? Maybe X isn't big enough. Maybe I need X plus Y. Then I'll be happy. And the loop continues. In 1973, anthropologist Ernest Becker wrote a book, The Denial of Death. He said something brutal but true. Humans fear death, fear disappearing, fear leaving no trace. So they spend their entire lives chasing success. Not because they want those things, but because they want to prove, I exist, I matter, I'm important. That's why you can't stop. That's why no matter how much you have, it's never enough. Because deep down, you're not chasing success. You're running from death. And here's the paradox. The more you run, the more you die. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Carl Jung studied this phenomenon for 40 years. He called it inner friction, when your true self and your social role collide. When you know deep down you're not living aligned with your true nature. But you can't stop, because stopping means facing the most terrifying question. If it's not success, not money, not titles, then who am I? And you fear the answer. Or worse, you fear there is no answer. Imagine you're running a marathon. You run 5 kilometers, tired. But people say, keep going, the finish line is coming. You keep running. 10 kilometers, 15, 20. You look up, searching for the finish line. It's not there. You ask, where's the finish line? They say, just keep running. It's coming. 30 kilometers, 40. You're exhausted. Your feet are bleeding. Your lungs are burning. But you can't stop, because if you stop, you'll fail. 50 kilometers. You collapse. And only then do you realize, there never was a finish line. This wasn't a race. This was a trap. That's the life you're living. You're not running to a destination. You're just running. Forever running. Until you collapse. Neuroscience explains this through a simple experiment. In 2009, Researchers at Princeton put rats in a maze. Each time a rat found the exit, it received a reward. Dopamine spiked. The rat was happy. Then they changed the rules. Each time the rat found the exit, they moved the exit to a new location. The rat kept running, searching, running, searching, forever. The result? The rat became exhausted. Stress skyrocketed. Cortisol destroyed its brain. And after 3 weeks, the rat died. Not from lack of food, but from exhaustion. You are that rat. The maze is society. The exit is success. And every time you think you've arrived, they move the goal. Okay, now it's senior manager, now director, now VP, now CEO, and you keep running until you collapse. Stop for a second. Right now, I want you to do something. Put your hand on your chest. Feel your heartbeat. Don't think, just feel. Now ask yourself, what was the last thing that made me feel truly alive? Not success, not money, not recognition. What made your heart beat fast, not from fear, but from joy? If you have to think long, that's the problem. That's the sign you've lost connection with your true nature for too long. Philosopher Alan Watts said, "We've forgotten that life isn't a problem to be solved. It's a reality to be experienced." But you've turned life into a to-do list, a chain of goals to achieve, a scorecard to complete, and now you sit here with all the boxes checked, but you feel empty. Because you forgot, life isn't at the destination, it's in the journey, and you've missed the entire journey. And here's what will happen if you don't stop today. 10 years from now, you'll be richer, more successful, more powerful. People will look at you and say, "Wow, what a successful life." But you'll sit in your corner office, looking out at the city, feeling emptier than ever. You'll miss your child's birthday because of an important meeting. You won't remember the last time you really laughed. You'll lie next to your partner like a stranger. You'll have everything society calls success, but you won't have a life. And one day, maybe at 55, maybe at 60, you'll look back and realize you spent your entire life chasing an illusion, and you lost everything that truly mattered along the way. That's the cost of delay. That's the death of the soul while the body still breathes. So how do you escape? Here's the truth no one wants to hear. No one is coming to save you. Not your therapist, not self-help books, not a YouTube video. This is your race. You chose to run, and only you can stop. But let me be clear. You can stop right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you retire. Right now. And here's how. Protocol 1. Redefine success. Take a piece of paper. Write the heading, "What is success really to me?" Not to your parents, not to society, not to your colleagues, to you, your true self. Write. Don't think. Just write. It might be, wake up without fear. Dinner with family 4 times a week. Read books just because I enjoy them. Laugh without feeling guilty. Have time to watch clouds drift. Simple things. But when you finish writing, look at that list and ask, what percentage of this am I actually living? If the answer is below 50%, you're not living your life. You're living someone else's life. Protocol 2. Separate identity from achievement. Every morning, in the first 60 seconds after waking up, before checking your phone, sit still and say quietly, "I am not my job. I am not my title. I am not my bank account. I am a person breathing." And that is enough. Sounds simple? Sounds silly. But your brain has spent 40 years linking identity with achievement. I'm worthy because I'm successful. I matter because I'm rich. I'm valuable because I have a title. You need to break that link. Every day. 60 seconds. No negotiation. Neuroscientists at Stanford proved when you separate identity from results, cortisol drops 30%. You sleep better, work more effectively, and paradoxically, you become more successful because you're no longer afraid of failure. Protocol 3. Practice small deaths. Each week, choose one day. On that day, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., 3 hours, you die. Not literally, but you die to your role. Turn off your phone. No email, no work, no title. For 3 hours, you're not the CEO, not the manager, not the successful person. You're just a human, living, breathing, existing. What do you do in those 3 hours? Anything that makes you feel alive without needing to prove anything. Cook, walk, play with your kids, watch the sunset, read a book unrelated to work, sit doing nothing. This isn't laziness. This is practicing small deaths. So you remember, you still exist when you remove all titles. You still have value when you do nothing. You're still you. Alan Watts said, "The secret of life is to die before you die and find out that there is no death." What that means is, let the false self die, the self built from achievements, and discover your true self is still there, and it needs to prove nothing. Now, here's the hard part. These 3 protocols won't cure you overnight. You won't wake up tomorrow and feel completely different. But if you do them consistently, 30 days, something will change. Not the world around you, but the world inside you. Because here's what Jung discovered after 40 years of research. The goal of life isn't to become someone, it's to return to yourself. Not success, but wholeness. Not having more, but having enough. And enough doesn't mean less. It means knowing when to stop, knowing when adding more is actually subtracting. Remember the opening of this video? You have everything, but still feel empty. Now imagine a different version. 3 months later, you still have your job, still have your house, still have your bank account, but something is different. This morning, you didn't check email right after waking. You sat still for 60 seconds and reminded yourself, I am enough. You made coffee without rushing, felt the aroma, watched sunlight through the window. Tonight you declined a meeting, not because you're lazy, but because you have dinner with family. And for the first time in years, you're actually there, not checking your phone, not thinking about work, just there. Your child tells a funny story. You laugh, really laugh, from your belly. And in that moment, you realize, this is success. Not the title, not the money, but this moment, when you're truly alive. That's not an illusion. That's a possibility, if you choose it. If you've watched this far, I know something in you has shifted. Even just a little, even just a small question. Am I living wrong? And that question is the beginning. This isn't just you. This is an entire generation waking up. One by one, we're stopping, asking, why am I running? And do I really want to reach this destination? Share the burden you're carrying in the comments below. Just one sentence. I achieved X, but still feel Y. Writing it down is the first step to putting it down. And maybe your words will be the ticket to freedom for someone else reading. We're building a place where success isn't measured by money, but by peace. Where the question, is this all there is, isn't ungrateful. It's awakening. If this video touched you, the next video will be about why your brain can't shut off. Because after you stop running, the next step is learning to silence the head that judges you constantly. You were born to flow. Be the person you want to live as.